is Blobio, and it's just a huge warning before you watch this video. This video has a lot of spoilers for everything Hello Neighbor related. So yeah, so the Game Theorist has... I don't know. If you don't know, the channel The Game Theorist is a channel where they theorize about games. If you don't know, this happened. Now, it also happened like 4 years ago, so I mean, and now MatPat from The Game Theorist are gonna actually do that, frame by frame. Now. Okay, this is the video I've been talking about this entire time, and I have watched a bit of it, but then I realized I had to react to it. So I mean, yeah, let's react to it now. Or maybe we'll just react to Galaxy S24 Ultra ad. Circle it, find it. Here. Alright, I'm done. Good. Okay, never mind.
For this video, I'm working with a charity who are dedicated to finding out if MatPat ever responded to the Hello Neighbor Twitter account for just 3,000.
Shut up! Shut up!
You can help support the Mattention Foundation to give Hello Neighbor and every other indie game Twitter account the resources that they need to help get the attention of MatPat. The beggar.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm finally ready. I'll analyze Hello Neighbor by frame.
You mean the cartoon series, right?
Hello.
5 theories remain. Jeez, this is so loud. 5 theories remain.
Welcome to Game Theory, the show that's always late to the meme. And no, you didn't read that title wrong, my friends. Today's the day that I finally answer the developer's call. Today, I'm putting one of the most iconic MatPat memes to bed. Today, I'm going to be analyzing the test pilot for the Hello Neighbor TV show, frame by frame. Now, if you have literally no idea what I'm talking about here, let me just bring you up to speed. No introduction, right? It was an indie horror game that blew up a couple years ago, all about a kid trying to break into their neighbor's house to discover the secrets that are hidden inside his
basement. That is true.
Really hyped up the enemy AI, the neighbor getting to know your routes through his house, getting smarter as you played. It was an idea everyone got really excited about, and the story was also really cool, with images indicating that this mysterious neighbor had sold his soul to the devil. And so they released a pre-alpha and then an alpha.
What? Excuse me, I would like quality experience with my free.
No, I'd done a handful of theories on the.
Why is it lagging? I don't.
Really helped the game blow up in its early days, but after being so disappointed over and over
ASUS.
various releases, just kind of stopped covering the whole thing. Fast forward 2 years, and suddenly there's a new TV pilot for an animated show based on the series, and I'm getting tagged by the Hello Neighbor staff on Twitter to not just watch the thing, but to analyze it frame by frame. And normally that sort of thing be fine, no big deal. I get asked all the time on Twitter to analyze things. But what made this one different is that they did it
is the developers or
just once or twice.
Give me
Qualcomm is enabling a world where
back, basically saying the same thing over and over again. They were practically begging me to do a theory on this thing. The internet would eventually notice this long string of tweets, They were screen grabbed, and then they became a more...
Oh no. Yeah, that's when they were in the comment section of every single Hello Neighbor video. That's when it started to become unfunny. And people still found it funny. Even though it happened 1 year ago, even though it happened 2 years ago, even though it happened 3 years ago, even though it happened 4 years ago.
As for me, yeah, I never wound up doing it. I never did watch that TV pilot, nor did I analyze it frame by frame like they were asking me to, until today. That's right. I'm finally going back to analyze this thing frame by frame 4 years later, which is fitting. Was always late to the meme anyway. But the real question that I want to answer...
You just have to analyze it frame by frame like this.
...is whether or not I enjoyed it.
really good.
Was Tiny Build right? Would I have actually enjoyed analyzing their TV pilot frame by frame?
I think they would have I think you would have liked just like watching it, but maybe not analyzing it frame by frame like the joke they did.
Frames of this thing, so we better get to.
Are you serious?
Gotta tell you about something else conspiratorial. So if you
Oh no, it's gonna be a YouTube. I know it! I know, I look like a YouTube. Oh yeah, what he was about to say was a part of my retirement. Yeah, he's gonna quit in like a month on March.
I'm gonna take my seat right here on the couch, and we're finally gonna take a look at the YouTube pilot.
No,
episode
not sitting on the
about
couch.
the scariest thing of all, stacking.
You're sitting under your desk.
Box stacking. You've got to stack the boxes all the way up there.
The final boss.
The box stacking puzzle.
The pilot's only 5 minutes long, but it gives us a pretty solid foundation.
You don't need.
The show would be.
You,
Involves a group of kids
are you freaking kidding me? I can't do this. I press spacebar. Right? Like, are you sure? Do you want to press spacebar? I couldn't beat the entire game of Hello Neighbor 1 without box stacking. You could just use a trash can. You don't need to stack the trash cans though.
The pilot's only 5 minutes long, but it gives us a pretty solid foundation of what the plot of this show would be.
I liked
Because
it.
The group of kids were all suspicious of the neighbor, so they decide to investigate his home.
Secret neighbor
Of
kids.
course, it doesn't quite go according to the neighbor tries to catch him, but using his own house against him, they're able to escape. The kids watch as he puts a body into his trunk and drives off. Curious,
This is actually a doll.
it wasn't a body after all, but rather a doll that he then promptly buries. The
A
neighbor
doll with
this guy for a bit,
a doll
realizes
with-
the kids are watching him and then chases him away.
What? Excuse me! I'm moving my mouse. I accidentally pressed the side buttons. See, this is why we need to get rid of side buttons. That body, though, that wasn't just a doll. That was a doll and a lot of trash. He solved two problems at once. He bagged up his frickin' trash, and then he put in his frickin' doll he wanted to put in a grave for some reason.
How to get the most of Grammarly free.
I don't want to use Grammarly! Thank you.
Discover that it wasn't a body after all, but rather a doll that he then
Yep.
promptly buries. The neighbor
Okay,
yells at this
puts it
guy
in.
for a bit, realizes that the kids are watching him, and then chases him away. They once again escape, racing home before the neighbor does. They watch him from the window until,
Oh.
of course, the neighbor turns and stares back. Cut
That-
to black.
that's
In
very
short, it's sweet.
creepy.
It captures a lot of the feeling of the original game. It's got secret passages.
Hey, can you stop talking?
Neighbor, and of course, a mystery about what the heck is going on with this guy. So if we want to figure that out, we got to do what the meme suggests.
How's this video 24 minutes? Like you just solved it right now. We're done. Apparently everybody out in this house likes to talk while I'm recording.
By frame. Here we go. Okay, so right here at the start, frame 5. I'm telling you, we are doing this. It's
Jeez.
gonna be a long video. Here we see the return of
24. Are you serious?
crow. I never really spoke about
Yeah.
crows in my initial theories, but they are
It's a
everywhere.
raven. That's why it's called Raven Books.
Pretty much every installment of the game, and now usually these
Ravens.
dressing, but I would suspect that the connection here is actually deeper than that. And
I need to check if I'm recording.
Edgar Allan Poe famously used a raven in his poem, The Raven, to be a stand-in for bad omens, a reminder of all the bad things that happened in the main character's life. In this case, the
Okay.
death of Lenore, a stand-in for Poe's dead wife, Virginia.
This is talking about the book.
That Mr. Peterson also loses his wife in a car accident during the events of Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek, which takes place before Act 1 of the first game. Also, I know ravens and crows are technically different, but in a lot of old mythology where these sorts of ideas originate, the two were often used interchangeably. Greek myth.
Hey, they're called.
Crows that are
It's called Raven Brooks. Or I guess they're crows and ravens, so Raven Brooks of crow.
So, starting off the opening shot with crows and ominous dark clouds, not the best sign for whatever's gonna happen. And if the
Oh,
crows run enough,
jeez.
the lightning that strikes the banner at frame 39 is just on the cake. Very spooky indeed.
My name is my neighbor, Mr. Peterson, is acting very suspicious after his children, Aaron and Maya, gone missing.
All right,
Yep.
there's lots to unpack with this one. First, the neighbor.
Already something wrong. That's not how you spell Maya. It's M-Y-A. Or if it's Hello Neighbor 2, M-I-A. Because apparently Her name is changed to Mia in Hello Neighbor 2. That's been confirmed by an official website made by TinyBuild and a freaking file name for her doll. I pressed spacebar!
Children, Aaron and Maya.
Just press K.
Alright, there's lots to unpack with this one. First, the neighbor has a name? I've been
Yeah.
referring to him as the neighbor for all these
He's
years, but
Peterson.
had a name the entire time.
Yeah,
According to the Hello
not
Neighbor
the
books,
entire
his full
time.
name is Theodore
Masters Peterson, yeah.
And, you heard me right. The
I just
books,
Googled
like
that.
every other indie franchise these days, Hello Neighbor is a series of not just one, not just two, but
I haven't
Fortunately
read
for me,
them.
your new Game Theory host Tom was insane enough to go and read the entire book series himself. Thanks
Jeez.
for saving me on that one there, Tom.
If you think I'm insane, just
If you think I'm insane,
But it is pretty weird that such an important piece of information like
what do I
just isn't in the games.
Agreed. Okay, now here we are. We're 360 frames in, and we're already being
Hello Neighbor Diary. Or maybe you could just watch TinyBuild's official videos. They say it all the time in their official videos. Or you can watch Random Encounters.
Who's the man I saw lurking in his curtains?
Mr. Sepperton's just a little shy. Also, I realized that,
mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
kid,
Yeah,
I'm the mayor,
of
Ravenbrook
Ravenbrook.
from that musical is in the community of Hello Neighbor. I don't know. 360 frames. Speaking about 360, this apparently spins 360 degrees, and it's a disco light! Disco party! This is very cool. If you put it down and then, oh, that's so cool. I don't. We're getting off track, all right?
You might not recognize him, but this guy here, Nicky Roth.
Nicky Roth, yeah.
protagonist from the first game. He's missing the baseball cap and the large jaw, but he still does have that iconic chin swirl. In Act 1 of Hello Neighbor, Nicky's
Different skin color as well.
only escaping years later and not returning to town until he's an adult. If he's out here spying on Mr. Peterson as a kid, that means that this show has to happen before the events of Act 1 in the first game, which
Okay.
is always great, because again, outside of the books, we get very little information about this part of the game, or really any part of the game for that matter. Hello Game Theory!
Sorry for pausing the video every 2
Be
seconds.
able to answer some of our burning questions about this franchise. One last thing, by the way, less of a lore thing and more just because I'm analyzing this frame by frame and reacting to it the way that I normally would. Gotta point out that my script here is really not happy with the grammar of that opening line.
My neighbor, Mr. Peterson, is acting very suspicious.
He's a kid.
Aaron and Maya have gone missing.
It should be went missing, not gone missing. Feels like maybe the opening was
Maya.
originally longer and then they had to cut it down, which led to weird grammar and hacky
Maya.
sentences. Anyway, it's a minor
You spelled it as as Maya.
franchise, but hey, let's get back to the lore.
4:30 p.m. Hall of Records.
Interesting, so the series seems to not take place in the same world as the games. The original alphas of Hello Neighbor used Russian for any text assets, and later releases used a made-up language that jumbled up and swapped around letters, but this
It's because yeah.
are designed to be direct tie-ins to the games, and they
Can you freaking? It's because it would be easier to read, and it would make sense since the main character is speaking English. This is just a translated from Ray Ron Cruz's language. I don't know. That's why there's improper grammar.
place in Missouri, with all images inside the books using
Missouri?
regular English for all the signs and newspapers. But then
Yeah.
Hello Neighbor 2 came out after the books and yet uses the same mixed up language
Hey boy! Hello Neighbor too!
in this franchise. So just make up your mind, guys. You see, this is why we can't have nice things.
3:47 a.m. Soldering in basement.
Free!
AM!
This one stood out to me as odd.
3:47 AM?
Basement without going inside.
Oh look, it's the tickets!
And the books are specifically called out as having no window.
Like screw off! Look, it's the tickets! And the freaking move out of the way!
The basement is pretty dreary, windowless with nothing
Dreary.
bulb here and there. And in the games, we literally see fake windows
Oh, yeah.
of the outside world pressed up against the stone. Something that the books tell us were made by Mr. Peterson's son, Aaron. We can see the hanging light bulb that was
What?
mentioned, but the fact that Nicky can see inside
I thought that was made by the neighbor.
that both the games and books tried to build up about this mysterious room in the house. However, while it's certainly weird for the story, it does help us theorists because it's full of interesting details. Namely that it's
Like the circus. Yeah, the circus things.
carousel horse, a ticket
Yeah,
to
because he
schematics
he
that call for things like a Ferris wheel.
Freaking park! Because he's an owner of an amusement park named the Golden Apple Amusement Park. That's what we break into in Hello Engineer. And that's why I tried recreating with AI. And in this video, you just got iconed by...
During the very first teasers for this game, where we see Mr. Peterson wearing a clown outfit. Back in the day when I was actively covering the series, I was always confused about that detail because it didn't tie into anything else that we were being shown.
It's just because of Halloween?
Pennywise, the evil clown from It. But now it starts to make sense when you look behind him and see that on a mannequin is a red-nosed...
That's an Easter egg. I didn't even see that.
He is actually a part of this circus-themed amusement park. My gut...
He is the Golden Apple.
Park that we saw just a few frames earlier, and lo and behold, my gut was right. Because the book...
Oh, okay. I thought it would be like, my gut said it was the Golden Apple Amusement Park, but no, it was the Raven Brooks Amusement Park from book 301.
Mr. Peterson is the head engineer in charge of designing all the rides for the park. This scene with the carousel to the booth of Ferris wheel does actually happen in the books, but it's during a class trip to the Golden Apple factory where they're being shown
Class trip?
for the park.
Class trip?
Like an important distinction to make, but what it shows me
Why
is
is
that
he
the
so
series is
British?
handling things differently than the books. While the books are designed
I don't think I would want to watch Game Theory if this guy was a... Also, that was a joke. Don't take any offense to that, please.
to be a direct link to the stories of the games, this series isn't a direct continuation or standard retelling. Instead, it seems to be a reimagining, taking inspiration
okay.
from the books and combining certain elements for clearer storytelling, but altering it just enough that we get new lore.
Okay.
We've skipped ahead a bit, but this is where things get...
Yeah, that is basically what they're doing. That's what they do for the full version. And also, I think Hello Neighbor 2 takes place right after Act 2. Because it's when you run away from Mr. Peterson, and then you hear breaks in the windows, and then you run home. When you run home, Mr. Peterson goes to the basement entrance, finds Aaron, then grabs him. Then you cough. Then Quentin pulls up in his freaking weird van, and then sees him kidnapping Aaron at night. Probably 3 a.m. Because you can't visit Hello Neighbor at 3 a.m.
really interesting. As you can see, across the room we see the phrase cursed written all over the
Oh
wall.
jeez, that's so...
Omen are regularly seen throughout the books, graffitied over
That's so creepy.
park rides before it opens, and
That's so
out the Peterson's house
creepy.
years later. Typically,
That's so creepy.
called the Forest Protectors.
Oh no.
Members from the town that dress in bird costumes and perform rituals to bring themselves good luck and the rest of the
See, the only reason I know about the Forest Protectors are because of the frickin'
Join the Forest Protectors, and you have total autonomy.
is the frickin' Random Encounters musical.
town bad luck. Yes,
This is so creepy.
And I'm shocked that you wouldn't have figured that out by playing the games. Anyway, during the events of both Grave Mistakes and Puzzle Master, Mr. Peterson's son Aaron and his daughter Maya start to investigate the Forest Protectors. And so
Oh
the
no.
Forest Protectors
Then they die.
Mr. Peterson's amusement park ride.
Oh, and then Lucy dies instead of...
Of course, they don't listen.
Lucy dies instead of freaking...
One of Mr. Peterson's rides malfunctioning and killing a young girl. This would seem to imply that the Forest Protectors are at play here.
But no, that was meant to be Maya. Lucy Yee was murdered. Instead of... Okay, just a huge warning before you watch this video. This video has a lot of spoilers for everything Hello Neighbor related. So yeah. They tried to kill Maya, but Maya didn't die until Aaron accidentally pushed her off the freaking roof of the Peterson house.
But not so sure. Remember, this series seems to be paralleling the books, but it's not one for one. This looks to be Aaron's
Okay.
bedroom. Notice the small baseball cap over on the side. So it feels
Okay.
very strange for the Forest Protectors to be inside of the Peterson household, especially given how protective...
He never had a baseball cap. Aaron never had a baseball cap. The only character that had a baseball cap was Nikki. I'm confused.
We know the neighbor is.
Heaven? Have we reached heaven?
Nirvana.
Oh, wait.
So what the
Never Owen.
all this wall art is down to the neighbor himself. A couple shots later, we see Maritza backing up against a wall with dozens of neighbor clippings and characters circled in red. This is taken straight from the first book. And it's not just any character that's circled, it's Aaron. Mr. Peterson is looking back across everything that went wrong.
Oh my god, this is so creepy. This is so creepy.
Believes Aaron is the bad omen. Aaron was
This is so creepy.
past rides at other parks also malfunctioned, killing even more people. And surprise, surprise, Aaron was there too. But the final nail in the coffin here, Aaron was also
Oh no.
Peterson's daughter Maya off the roof, leading to her death. I suspect that is why he wrote all over Aaron's walls, as a reminder of why he was locking Aaron in the basement, meaning Aaron is likely still in the basement.
This is so creepy.
Speaking of that conspiracy board, well, I said it's lifted straight from the first book. There are noticeable differences.
Yeah.
Some of them are small, like the calendars lining up with March of 1993 and September of 1994, which is 18 months apart. That right there is the same amount of time Mr. Peterson was given to complete his park attractions in the books. But there are details here that have themselves a much deeper meaning.
Other location.
The university
Gross.
committing tax fraud, and a celebrity called
Does Lucy Year? Lucy Year?
to that character specifically, but she isn't anywhere else in this franchise at all. No books,
It's just stupid. It's just nothing.
which means that it's not the character that's important, but rather what
Oh,
he did. This board isn't just noting down
it's the circled.
like we see in the first book. Instead, it seems to be more in line with his investigations during the second book trilogy.
You know, that's exactly what I tried to do with my thumbnail for one of my reaction videos. This one, I made it. I put an entire corkboard with lines on it with all these characters on it. Which, yeah, there's a lot of pins going to places to other places. Like this goes. This one's go. One, I tried to make it like the corkboard on that.
Which, confusingly enough, takes place before the first book trilogy. It's kind of like Star Wars if it didn't have cool laser swords and magical powers, and instead had a lot of bear traps and boxes. Just so many cardboard boxes. It seems to me that Mr. Peterson is trying to uncover the mystery.
Do you really need me to censor that? I'm gonna censor that.
For themselves. He's looking at
Oh.
the bad luck that follows people in the town, like the celebrity and the university president, as well as researching into crows, which we've established.
Oh.
Which makes Mr. Peterson a lot less evil and a lot more like a misunderstood, sympathetic villain. He literally.
See, that's what I thought.
You have no idea what you've done.
I've always, you know, I have always felt bad for the neighbor because he lost his wife, his son. Well, not his son. He lost his wife, his daughter. Accidentally killed a kid at an amusement park. There was just so many things that went wrong in his life. And now, let me think of something. And now he's locking Aaron in the basement because he's a bad omen. And you know, I've always thought that he's been locking him in the basement because he doesn't want to lose his last family member. Also, I think there should be a game version of the animated cartoon series. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
They're messing with his investigation. I suspect that Mr. Peterson feels like he's been cursed by these forest protectors, and he's trying to expose them. But he's worried that all these detective kids getting in his way, they're going to not only ruin his life, but also ruin the town as a result. Frame 4,730.
We're still doing this.
His body's always turned to the left, and we can't see his legs. Makes it look like they've used a forward walking animation, but just keyframed it.
Yeah, it's
because they've shown front-facing versions of him before. So it's not like a Sonic the Hedgehog or Mickey Mouse situation where they always have to face one side or the other because of that iconic shape. Hopefully they were able to iron that out in the full series. Other than that,
yeah, they
really to add. It just made me
did. I don't know.
little details that you notice when you're asked to do things.
Why did you go to? That's the first time we heard his voice.
And just like that, we're
Talk.
in the final scene. And I gotta say the neighbor is far less scary as soon as you make him speak. Part of what was terrifying about him in the games, and even in the first trilogy of books for that matter, is that he almost
He's mute.
In the second and third book especially, he just towers over Nikki without saying a word, just staring. That makes him creepy and mysterious. But as soon as he starts talking in full sentences like this, kind of ruins the mystique, makes him a lot less threatening. I get that he's human, and they're trying to make him more sympathetic, but no, it just kind of takes the out of the scene.
Wait, how's it tied behind his back? Jeez.
Here in the book series, and we're clearly seeing some of that take place here. The crows begin to circle, and in the second trilogy of books, crows only begin to circle during storms. Now, the crows themselves aren't strictly involved in anything nefarious. In the books, and in reality, birds actually use the Earth's natural magnetic field to help navigate their way, namely during seasonal migrations. Messing with that field, though, can cause an effect known as electrosmog, which causes birds to break away from their traditional flight paths. Now, really big storms do have the ability to affect the electromagnetic fields in the world, but never really enough to affect bird migrations. Here in Ravensbrook, though, they're known for
Ravensbrook.
storm systems compared to the rest of the country.
Ravenbrooks. Just swap the S. Just take the S of the Ravens and then put it at Brook.
Which in turn causes the crow's flight patterns to shift drastically, leading
Oh.
to a circle. However,
Giant storms.
And when a storm comes, that means the forest protectors have begun their ritual to curse the town and thereby bring themselves.
Jeez.
That's why we see Mr. Peterson here yelling at the sky, "You're not gonna curse me again." It's not the crows that he's speaking to, but rather the forest protectors who are bringing a curse upon the rest of the townspeople, which he
I never understood that.
his daughter Maya and the failure of his ride designs. Later in the scene, we see him reveal an object with a gemstone in the middle, which is another direct reference to the forest protectors and the ritual. It does look slightly different in the books, but clearly it's meant to be the same thing. Quote, "It's not quite round, but not a cube either. It has lots of sides, each one catching the early dawn light creeping past the clouds. From here, it looks to be about the size of my palm. Tarnished brassy thing." And just look at the pictures. Clearly there are some obvious comparisons here. Now this device in the book is super important because it's
Why are there pictures in the book?
This allows the forest protectors.
I've always thought that there were no pictures in the books, but I still remember that there are pictures in the books.
So they can perform their good luck ritual. But it also seems to be the thing that actually brings good luck to anyone who's holding it. I wonder if that's maybe why it changed its shape. There are these real world stones called star sapphires. They look like normal sapphires, but with a star-shaped pattern in the middle. Back in the day, they were thought to ward off witchcraft, hexes, and curses. Now, in the book, Mr. Peterson managed to make one of these, and suddenly the investigation into his past ride malfunctions and all the deaths that they caused, they all get dropped in an instant. This seems to be what he's referring to here when he talks about the forest protectors not doing this to me again, because he now has the device that'll be able to change his fate. But one thing you'll notice throughout my analysis here is the repeated phrase in the books, right? All of this stuff is explained in the books. So I just wanted to see if there was anything I could take away from this scene that didn't rely on book knowledge. And the thing that stood out to me was the burying of the doll in the middle of the amusement. This doll was Maya's doll that we see her carrying around in the game Hide and Seek, which came out.
I don't know. Is that supposed to be like the body of... Because it's supposed to look like the mom, I think. So is that supposed to be like the burial of the mom? I don't know. 6th of December.
Later games of the franchise.
Oh, I don't want to see this. I don't...
Mr. Peterson's never buried this doll specifically in any of the other games or stories as far as I can tell. So why change that? Well, I would imagine that they're expanding on the crow lore, which kind of sounds like a joke, but I'm being completely serious here. I mentioned at the start of this episode how crows were a sign of bad luck and death. Part of the reason for this was because crows would circle battlefields after a war, looking to feast upon the dead that lay across the spiritual meaning if you see crows circling, a more spiritual meaning. What
does it look like feathers?
Like we see is that there's a spiritual transition between our world and the spirit world taking place. This can be as simple as someone communicating from beyond the grave, but it can also be a symbol of rebirth. And you see, this is where the doll comes into play.
I don't want to freaking help Wanda too.
In real world with puppets. Now, puppets are meant to serve as a bridge between humans and the spirit realm, allowing the user to remove the effects of curses, hexes, omens, and even bad luck. And hey, would you look at that?
Bad luck.
The VR game
Omens.
actually uses dolls in a similar way. In the final level of the game, the dolls have a spiritual connection to them. And when you combine that with the crows circling, makes me think that Mr. Peterson burying Maya's doll and using the good luck device from the book is all part of some kind of ritual of
He said in the books.
family good luck, like we see in the books, or maybe it's something darker than that. Maybe he's trying to reach out to the spirit realm and bring his daughter back to life. We saw in the he is more than happy to make a deal with the devil. Who's to say that he wouldn't try something so extreme that stands against both God and nature? And that, my friends, basically brings us to the end of this pilot episode. So it's time for me to finally answer the question that I've been wondering for the last 4 years. Did MatPat truly enjoy analyzing this frame by frame? And I gotta say,
yes.
It was okay, but honestly, I would have enjoyed it way more if the lore of the books was actually in the pilot itself. I mean, really think about how this episode's gone. If we go back through this video and remove any and all references to the books and the book lore, even the ones that came out before this pilot, what would I have actually been able to predict? I guess I would have found some cool details about crows, Maya's doll. Maybe I'd been able to figure out some connection to bad luck, maybe? But the idea of a weather detecting good luck device, the entire concept of the forest protectors, yeah, there is no chance. That never appears in any sort of game media. The old days of Hello Neighbor were fun because all the answers were in the actual game itself. Anyone could just pick up the game and understand it. And for those who were truly dedicated fans that wanted to go a level deeper, all the clues were in the game, minus a few small details that might have been left on a Twitter page or some website. But nowadays, all these indie horror franchises, they're basically asking us to do homework, because to understand anything in this pilot, or honestly the recent games, you have to have read the 1,400 pages spread across their 7 books. Now, to be fair, this isn't just Hello Neighbor's problem. We've been seeing it more and more across all sorts of media.
Poppy
FNAF,
Playtime.
great example.
I don't know why I said Poppy Playtime. I don't think it... Okay, never mind. There's like all this lore in Poppy Playtime as well. Well... I have to read 1,000 pages of books. But you do have to buy 7,000 NFT.
Just from the games alone. Sure, you might be able to find some extra cool information on Scott's website or a cryptic line from a single book, but the game was all you really needed, and it then left you with some dangling threads to theorize about in future games. But by Ruin, still have no idea who Gregory really is, why he's there, Olin from 3 of the books.
What am I? What?
We're also seeing it with franchises.
What?
And if you do hope to understand everything about the main antagonist, sorry, you gotta binge 8 hours worth of multiple times over. This naturally leads to more frustration and more burnout in the fan base. Now, any theory that gets made stops being a theory and becomes more of a recap of the last few books that nobody bothered to read, which just isn't interesting for me as a theorist, or for people watching these videos. When these tweets initially came out, part of the reason I didn't respond was for exactly this reason. I had my hands full with the FNAF books and didn't have time to catch up on all the extra outside media that was being made for this particular franchise. But look, I don't want this to be a complete downer of an ending, because besides the box stacking and glitchy gameplay, I think this franchise is fun. It's goofy, it's dumb, it's fun. The story in the books is actually a good story. We just need it within the actual games and show, because there's a lot of potential for the future of this franchise and the theorize.
But you only watched the pilot.
There are more Hello Neighbor games on the horizon.
Diaries.
Hello Neighbor Diaries literally released a couple months
Yeah,
ago.
at least he mentioned it.
Told me that the 7th book ends on this massive cliffhanger and seems to be part of a trilogy that never finished. And I know that there's the whole of season 1 as well as potentially season 2 and 3 coming for this show.
2 and 3? I expected 2.
Be a bit more of a balance here. Give your games and your shows a little more lore. Mix in a couple more clues and make your books a little
Clue
less
the game.
important in that equation. Because at the end of the day, those mysteries are the things that keep us theorists coming back for more.
I think Hello Neighbor Diaries is what is telling you all the stories that's happened in the book.
Those are things that allow us to hook into a story and care about the characters, as opposed to walking away from a 5-minute pilot going, what did I just watch? And if you can manage to find that balance, who knows, maybe the rest of the industry will take notice, and you'll manage to get Tom and Lee coming back to make their own theories about your franchise. But as for me and this pilot, as I ride off into the sunset, I think we can finally call this meme officially dead and buried. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I still hate that meme. It will go on forever, but it's been dead. But now we're gonna react to another video in the same video. Yeah, you didn't expect that, right? It wasn't even on the thumbnail. Whoa! Peterson stick together. Season 2 is coming out. MatPat frame by frame JPEG. What is this? I haven't watched this yet. It's just in the...
Prove anything to these bullies, right?
What?
I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing it for me. You don't have to come, you know.
Miss hanging out with you before I graduate? Pass.
Oh no. This is not good. Who are these characters? They look like Peterson. They're Peterson! The family of Peter. I like calling the neighbor Peter.
I bet those other kids won't even show up.
Because I don't like calling him freaking Theo.
Hello?
Bro, that's weird. There's gotta be some secrets in the background.
I don't think anyone's here.
What's that on the ground? Oh no, what's the alarm system about?
Don't worry! They're just messing with you!
Oh no. Oh wait. That's the eyeball place in Hello Guest Pre-Alpha. Whoa, what was that? Oh, whoa. What in the Halloween costumes? What the?
Yeah, out where we can see you!
How did they cut him with a marble?
What kind of test is this?
Follow me.
What is happening? What did they just punch? Oh, they do have baseball bats. What is happening? Wait, why does that look like Gerda? The baker. Why does that look like Gerda, she the baker lady? Oh! That's the Hello Neighbor Alpha 1 flashlight. Why does that look like the baker?
Get out of here! Petersons have each other's backs.
What? Why? What?
Huh?
Oh, wait, that figure looks like the neighbor's figure. Wait, is that the neighbor and his brother? What just happened? What? Go. Don't run over there. No! They're still alive! No! Oh! What? Oh no! Oh, I thought he was gonna fall into the hole. No! Baker!
No witnesses.
There's a ton of witnesses. Oh no. Oh wait, the neighbor's shoes. Is that the guest or something? What? Whoa! What? Is that the shadow? So that was the neighbor. I'm analyzing this frame by frame. Oh, jeez. Oh, look at that effect. There's lightning. Oh, jeez. So that was his brother. Jeez. Now I feel even worse for the neighbor. For Peter. He had family members that died. Is he that close to whoever this guy is? Is that the freaking Halloween guy? That's a no witnesses. Also, he has the same freaking outfit as Nelson and Leslie. Also, what are these keys for? There's a cork board. Crime doesn't pay. Hey guys, Blob here, and it's time to react to. Yeah, so the Game Theorist has. I don't know how to. Anyway, I really hope I don't get copyright claimed by MatPat. I hope you enjoyed this video on Hello Neighbor. Of reacting to Hello Neighbor stuff. If you want to watch more from me, you can click over there to subscribe. You can click down there to watch some other videos from me. And well, goodbye.